Right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Liz.
And I'm Kelsey.
And we work at the St Baldrick Foundation and are the hosts of today's event. We have a full event ahead of us, and we are excited to have Dr. Susan Cohn join us today. She is a leading authority on neuroblastoma worldwide and the chair of the St Baldrick Scientific Advisory Committee and a member of the board of directors. Dr. Cohn, please take it away.
Well, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. And I just want to, I think all of you know all of the wonderful work that St. Baldrick's does. But St. Baldrick's has been particularly supportive of helping us find new therapies for patients with neuroblastoma, which is, of course, what I've really focused on. And I'm here to tell you that the research really works. I have been doing this now for many, many years. And we have had some really, truly miraculous new discoveries in the recent years based on research that has been supported by St. Baldrick's. You know, I tell families and parents now that, survival rates have, really increased. And I actually, when I give talks to trainees and other physicians, I have a slide that kind of shows how there's been progressive improvement in survival for patients with high-risk neuroblastoma over the last 30 years. And it's absolutely because of research that St. Baldrick's has supported. There's been laboratory work that's been supported by St. Baldrick's, so we know a little bit more about the biology of the tumor, and we've been able to discover new targets to treat specific neuroblastomas that have specific types of mutations. There's also been a number and a series of clinical trials that we've done through the Children's Oncology Group, as well as other groups that have led us to identify therapy that is the best. And what we do with all these clinical trials are typically randomized studies, and we compare two different regimens. And then the arm that is shown to lead to the best outcome becomes the standard arm for the next study. And these sequential studies that have been done over the last 3 decades have just led to remarkable advances. And, when I look back at where we were 35 years ago or so when I first started versus where we are today, it's very, very promising and very hopeful. Now, of course, what we want to do is cure everyone. And so we still have a little ways to go. We unfortunately don't have curative treatment for everyone, although there's been significant advances and we're curing more and more patients than we've ever cured. So that's terrific. But we still want to, we want to do more and we want to learn more. And I actually, right before this call, I was on a call with colleagues of mine in the Children's Oncology Group discussing sort of the ongoing studies that are going on right now, testing new treatments, new modalities, and there have been some really exciting results that have recently come out in terms of looking at even how we treat patients who have relapse disease, so who didn't respond as we hoped to their upfront therapy. We've got a couple of trials right now that are ongoing that have really demonstrated some terrific, remarkable responses to a variety of different immunotherapies. I'm sure you've all heard of some of them. Denituximab is an antibody that against neuroblastoma that's now part of our standard of care. And that drug was actually FDA approved in 2015 for high-risk neuroblastoma, and it was approved because of the research that St. Baldrick's supported in terms of the clinical trial that demonstrated the addition of that particular antibody increased survival rates by 20%. And so that data was taken to the FDA, and then the FDA subsequently approved Denituximab. But now we're also testing other combinations of immunotherapies and other kinds of antibodies. And we'll learn even more about how to optimize immunotherapy for patients with neuroblastoma in combination with many other modalities, because we treat high-risk neuroblastoma with many types of treatments. But I'm so thrilled that you guys are here to hopefully raise some additional funds because, as I said, our goal is to cure everyone. And while we're very, very excited about seeing the improvement in survival that we have achieved through our research studies, we still have more to go. And so thank you. I really appreciate this very much. And I'm a big supporter of St. Baldrick's, and I'm just thrilled to be part of the board and thrilled to be part of the scientific advisory board.
Thank you, Dr. Cohn. We really appreciate you being here today to share all of that extremely powerful information with all of us. And we all share in the goal of curing all children. And so it's wonderful to hear about all the new advancements that are coming out from the Children's Oncology Group. And so we really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us today.
I appreciate that.
Next up is Adam Manis. We'd love to introduce you to him as he is one of our very first Shavies. He participated in our very first inaugural St. Baldrick's event, and that was before we were even actually St. Baldrick's, all the way back in 2000. So I'd like to introduce Adam today to share a little bit about his St. Baldrick's story with all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Kelsey. It's wonderful to be here. Geez, I don't really know where to start, but, as you know, we've been proud supporters of the St. Baldrick's organization for I guess the last 20 years or more now. And as you said, I guess I was part of the inaugural group of folks that shaved in support of the foundation, as you noted, before the foundation even existed. And this is only the second time I've shaved since then. So this is pretty special for me, and I'm very, very proud to be here. Remembering back, I must admit, I was pretty drunk that first day. Liz and Kelsey and Kathleen, I don't know what John and others have told you, but this thing was born out of a lot of liquid courage, and it had to be, because at the time everyone thought we were absolutely nuts. But it was a phenomenal day. There were, again, by my memory, there were about a dozen of us from all across the reinsurance industry. I think, more or less, we were all about 10 years or so into our careers at that point. So a bunch of 20 or 30 somethings coming together, young enough and dumb enough not to care. And on St. Patrick's Day, we used to gather in one of the industry's favorite watering holes in Lower Manhattan, which is an Irish bar called Jim Brady's. It's a few blocks away from Wall Street. And I think still there today, there's a plaque on the wall of Jim Brady's honoring their role in St. Baldrick's rather, from early on. John Bender, who was the co-founder of St. Baldrick's, he came to a bunch of us early in 2000 that year and said, instead of just coming together and getting drunk at Brady's like we usually do, why don't we come together, get drunk, shave our heads, raise money, and donate it to childhood cancer research? And why not, right? So that's what we did. And it was pretty astounding. On that day, the industry really came together. It was amazing. We filled the bar. We spent the afternoon with what I remember to be as a very dull secondhand electric razor hacking away at all of our hair. We all had clumps of hair all over the place after when we were done. There were folks on this call today who had the honor of shaving my head that day, and I think Frank Harrison will say a few words later as well. But by the end of the day, when all the dust had settled, it was announced that we'd raised over $100,000. And I remember the local evening news was on the television at Jim Brady's that night, and lo and behold, we made the evening news in New York City on St. Patrick's Day. And in a city of 8 million or so people, when you can move the dial, it really makes you sit back and take notice. And I think that was the first moment that I realized that we all might be onto something here. So I guess if I had to, just describe my experiences with St. Baldrick's over the years and boil it down to its essence and, why we've been consistent supporters, it's really always been about community and people coming together in groups like we are here today, deciding to support others. Some of us support with our hair, some of us support with money. But most importantly, in my mind, it doesn't matter whether you give or not per se. Really, the important thing is that you spread the word. It's important that you support with your word of mouth and tell people what you did today. it's this network effect in the community building, which again, looking back over the last 20 years, I think is the most powerful thing about which is a very simple model. And I think it's what's kind of taken this $100,000 experiment and turned it into an organization, which today I think you guys are raising over 35 million or so every year. And, plowing all of that back into very important childhood cancer research and support. So, so maybe before I shut up here, just one more thing to the Corson family and young Dakota, who are all here today to honor and support and stand by in solidarity. If you take nothing else away from this event, it's simply that there's a lot of people that care. There's a lot of people out here and everywhere that want to help. There's, you're not alone. And so, I called John Bender on Thanksgiving of this year, which was, right when we found out about, young Dakota, to thank him for St Baldrick's support and everything you guys have done. And, it was amazing. John very quickly replied. He goes, Adam, there's no need for thanks. This is why we're here. And he stopped and he said, seriously, what else are we here to do on this planet other than to, help other people? And so, yeah, I guess it started 20 years ago. I was lucky enough to be, to have said yes to the initial shaving. But, really all the credit goes to you, Kelsey, and Liz, and Kathleen, and all the people at St Baldrick's and everybody on the call here today. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. I think it was really inspiring to hear how much fun you had at the first event, but really to bring a community together for families like Dakota and the Corson family. So thank you for bringing your community together today. And, we're just so excited to have your support every year. We are now going to welcome our CEO, Kathleen Ruddy. She's here today to share more about the research impact your fundraising is making, Team Dakota.
Thank you, Liz. And Adam, I just want to say what you said was really beautiful and so heartfelt. And I think what you helped begin 20 plus years ago has turned into more than $300 million for life-saving childhood cancer research. And that's purely because of people like all of you who have such great hearts and want to be there for the Dakotas of the world. I will tell you that we all know the world has been hit in many ways this year, and St. Baldrick's has been similarly impacted. But we've navigated tough times before, after 9/11 and the Great Recession, just to name two. Holborn as a company has been part of our community since 2007. And I want to thank all of you for your leadership and patronage and continued support and the visibility that you give to kids like Dakota. When St. Baldrick's began, the research community believed that there'd be a shortage of pediatric oncology researchers in America by 2015 or 2020 at the latest. So imagine for a moment that you're the parent of a young child, as Josh and Danielle Corson are, and you've just learned that your precious child has cancer. Imagine the despair and anger you would feel if the next thing you heard was there's no cure and there's little hope for one, because there aren't enough physician scientists working to cure your child's disease. Thanks to the generosity of St. Baldrick's volunteers and donors like Frank Harrison and everybody at Holborn, together we've been able to avoid the shortage of experts the research world long anticipated because of our continued reinvestment in early career scientists and making sure they're there to continue on the work of the leaders who are retiring from the field. So the economic impact of COVID is real, and it's meant we're funding less research than we usually do. And that is why this event today is so important. Paul Wohan, thank you for your leadership to make today possible. Your timing is ideal because next month we'll be making more grants. And to people who we want to carry on the great work that Dr. Cohn just described and so many other critical projects that kids are counting upon for their futures. So we want to be able to fund as many of those talented researchers as possible. So again, thank you all for being here for Dakota and for giving generously today. Most of all, thanks to Dakota and her parents, Josh and Danielle, for inspiring Team Dakota to be there for her and every child in the fight. So have a great shave, and Liz, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. And really to get at the heart of this event, to get at the heart of what we do at St. Baldrick's, we want to give some time to Josh and Danielle, whose daughter Dakota was recently diagnosed with neuroblastoma and has just begun her treatment. So welcome Josh and Danielle and baby girl Dakota.
Oh, thank you. And thank you everyone for participating so far. As Kelsey said, I'm Josh, and this is Danielle, our daughter, Dakota, who's 2. We also have another daughter, Declan, who may run by at some point. She's 4 and maybe a little confused by this whole event. I'll probably be pretty brief because this is obviously a pretty emotional time for us, but I just want to share kind of what's happened, in the first 27 days since we've found out really about what's going on with Dakota and this disease. It's really been a whirlwind, I think, for us, and to be frank, it's been pretty devastating most of the time. But we're hopeful and we have faith, and a lot of that is because of what St. Baldrick's has done. It's, we talk to our doctors and they talk about all the developments that have happened in the last 30 years. Dakota really has been a champ so far, for a 2-year-old. She's finished her first cycle of chemo last week. She's handled it pretty dang well. She's been a little bit sick this week and doesn't have a lot of energy, but I think, that's to be expected. We're pretty pleased with, the start so far, for her and the wear and tear sort of about what she's about to go through. So as I said, it's been 27 days. She spent 13 of those days in the hospital, 13 nights in the hospital so far, and 4 additional days outpatient. So back and forth to the hospital for blood draws or different scans. So that's 17 to 27. And to be honest, talking to our doctors, we don't expect that to change anytime soon. It'll be that type of intensity. What she has is a horrible disease, and the treatment plan is very difficult. But I'm here to tell you from our experience in those 27 days that we're not alone, and this isn't that rare. So we need to be aware of that. There's a whole floor of kids at Ann Arbor and other hospitals across the U.S. That have diseases like Dakota's and others, and they're all battling the same thing. And that's what I think makes this organization and this event tonight or today so exciting, something we can do in honor of Dakota. So I just want to thank all of you for that. I think investing in our children's health is the best money we could ever spend. We're literally saving lives. So I think that's really all we wanted to say. Thank you, everyone that's participated so far in this call, and so for donating your time and money, and as Adam said, spreading the word. So thank you.
Thank you, Josh and Danielle, so much for being with us today. Dakota's story is so heartbreaking, but also so inspiring for all of us to play our part in trying to bring a brighter future for children that are battling cancer, and to bring hope for a cure. So we really appreciate you sharing Dakota's story with us, as that is the heart of why we are all here today. So with that being said, Liz, are we ready to get these clippers fired up?
Team Dakota, you guys ready? Is everybody ready?
All right, everybody get those clippers plugged in.
All right, I think we should do a countdown, Kelsey. What do you think? Kelsey, should we do a countdown?
Yeah, we can do a countdown. Let's wait till
All right.
All right.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I love how so many of them are doing it on their own.
Okay, I see TJ, Nick. Oh, we got Joel doing it on his own.
Oh yeah, Nick's going right down the middle.
Okay.
Reverse Mohawk style. Paul, your twins are like pros.
Look at that.
Done already.
Oh, Jeremy, look at Jeremy. Did you see all that hair?
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is
Ready.
fun. I think Joel, I think you should keep it like that for a bit. Let's see how many more donations we get if you keep it like that. Adam, how's it going, Adam? All right, we're going to unmute some people so we can start asking if anybody wants to share anything.
Yeah, Paul, how's it feeling?
It's cooling off pretty quickly here in the upper Midwest. I'm going to have to go grab a couple extra stocking caps, I think.
At least you don't have to worry about sunburn.
Absolutely. Adam so far looks about the same.
Yeah, no, we're getting, please, I know. I know. The back is the only place I have hair.
It looks like RK's done.
Yeah, so that's Rachel and her husband and boys.
Oh, they're getting their head shaved too.
Yeah, they're shaving their heads too. And we got Nick. Looks like Nick's almost done.
Hey Nick, how's it feel?
Not bad. A little drafty. Just talk Nick into this, but it's worth it.
Oh, I love that positive peer pressure, Joel.
And in case anybody is just tuning in, the Holborn event is now up to over $35,000 raised so far. So we just wanted to call out a few special donors. We got Frank Harrison, the Van Berkel Family Foundation, Thomas Lurk, and Alwyn Hugh Johns. I think I pronounced that. I hope I pronounced that right. But thank you all so much for your support. We know we did receive the Van Berkel Family Foundation through a donor advised fund. And so that is actually one of the fastest growing giving vehicles and an easy way to support your favorite charities like St Baldrick. So if you're tuning in, consider that as your year-end contribution.
Yeah, and we do want to give a couple of special shout outs. So one, I have been told that John Bender is watching, so we'd love to just kind of give him a big shout out, as I know Adam had mentioned him earlier in his speech about how he reached out to John on Thanksgiving. And so we're really excited to have John with us today. And we do really want to give a special shout out to the Holborn Corporation. They gave a generous match of $15,000. So that is just absolutely incredible. And we are so appreciative to the entire corporation. They have a long history of supporting St. Baldrick's, as Kathleen mentioned earlier. And we are thrilled to have Frank Harrison here with us today, who serves as their chairman of the board and chief executive officer. So Frank, we'd love to take it away to you and kind of hear a little bit from you today.
Great. Well, if you can hear me, first of all, Jen, you're doing a great job. I will personally throw in another $5,000 if you shave his beard off too. That's the deal. He can't give in on that. You got to go for it while you're there.
The COVID beard.
And you know what? And it's shocking to me because some of my guys, they look a hell of a lot better shaven than they did with all that scraggly stuff that they called hair before. On a serious note, thanks to Liz, Kelsey, Kathleen, just an amazing job, amazing event. Holborn is extraordinarily honored to support St. Baldrick's, but even more so to support this family. I'm trying to hide the tears a little bit, Danielle. The loving way in which you hold your daughter, I feel for you. And I just want you and Joss to know, don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. There are people there to help you and support you, people like us behind the scenes. From the very bottom of my heart, if anybody's listening and you've donated, I thank you. This is an incredibly important charity, and just look at that little girl, and the other one's really cute too, Declan. You got a couple of sweethearts on your hands there. God bless you. So I'm going to wrap up just by saying, may God be with you in this struggle. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Believe in miracles. They happen. Don't give up the fight no matter what. And we're going to do our part as best we can behind the scenes. And to all of my crew at Holborn, I'm really proud of the leadership that you've shown today in stepping up and, and helping this family at this time. So thanks to the St. Baldrick's people. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much, Team Dakota, everybody who's watching, everybody who's donated. Thank you for rallying around the Corson family. From the bottom of our hearts, we really thank you for making more research possible for kids like Dakota. And we just thank you all so much for joining today.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to give any kind of shout out? Hudson, Jeremy, you guys look good.
Ready? Say hi, Dakota.
Yeah, you guys all look great, except for maybe TJ.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. What a great way to kick off the holiday season and really kind of capturing, coming together for this cause and for this beautiful family. So thank you guys so much. So we'd love for all of you to unmute and give your guys yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, let's start that off, Kelsey. Woo!
You go, Team Dakota. All right.
Liz, Kelsey, Kathleen, thanks again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Everybody.
all of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks, all
you.
the
Happy
donors.
holidays.
Happy holidays. All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope you guys have fun with the holiday party.
Thank you. Bye-bye.